Overwatch 2!
Yeah! It's about
Finally.
damn time.
I know, they announced it, what, like 3 years ago?
Something like that. Much too early.
Yeah, way too early.
Based on like the job postings, since I'm always scouring the internet for them, they announced Overwatch 2 before they even had a story planned. Anything planned. Because the fucking listings online were hiring writers and storyboard artists. Which is
That's amazing.
Step one.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's fair to say that it was it was like announced, but the only things they told us was that there's like 4 to 5 champion reworks. We're gonna have 5v5, new maps, which was a given.
Yeah.
And I forget what the last one was, but it was
probably that it was PvE now.
Oh yeah. But that's not that much. Like, what is taking so long? I clearly we have to expect more, I think.
I think we're all going to be quite disappointed.
Oh, well, yes. Especially with the amount of time they put into this. But if there's one upside, Bastion's getting reworked.
Yeah! Bastion gets reworked every few months.
Well, yeah, so I guess that's not that novel. But, you know, if you're excited for Overwatch 2, let us know. And with that, welcome to episode 22 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
Woo! My name is Luke. I am one of your hosts. And as always, I have with me the inflexible Wolfie.
Wow! Had one prepared this time.
I did. I had a topic prepared. I had a word prepared. My computer breaking couldn't slow me down.
The only thing that wasn't prepared was your computer.
That's true. Listen, Discord wants to fuck me each week, alright?
Indeed.
Just know, audience. Yeah, just know, audience. I'm putting in work to get this audio for you guys. It's not easy.
Really got you working the rails.
I'm dedicated. If you haven't listened to last week's episode, go take a listen.
Yeah!
Watch it on YouTube, listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We sure did. Big sucky wucky.
It's not enough suck.
No, not enough suck, not enough story.
Yeah.
We still liked it, though.
Indeed.
Quality content, and you're not going to want to miss it either way.
That's right.
Right. Go take a listen, and then come back to this one.
Yeah.
This
make sure
week,
you're always watching in order.
Yeah. You don't want to miss any of the lore. Or any of the titty bits.
That's right. Speaking of lore.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a deeper dive on Elden Ring, a new MMORPG, or I guess not MMO, but RPG, based in the Dark Souls world. We talked a little bit about it before on a previous episode, our RPG episode, but it's just so popular, we're bringing it back for its own personal episode.
Yeah, and that deep dive, it's relative.
Yeah, it's not that deep. It's deep like shallow. It's deep if you're a toddler.
Yeah, that's right. It cuts deep into my feelings.
That's right. And then we're going to be talking about the recent release of IGN's top 10 open world games.
That's right.
That at the time of the recording, the list came out just 3 days ago, 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Pretty recent. And then, as always, wrapping up with a question from someone who is not here this week.
She who shall not be named.
Yeah, she doesn't even get named this episode.
It's just question of the week.
Ours question of the week. You, long-time listeners, will know who we're referring to. The Fiend, who's too busy working.
That's right.
Don't worry. She misses you guys more than you miss her, I'm sure.
Right.
Alright, Wolf, let's go into Elden Ring. Tell us what you got.
Elden Ring. I've put maybe, I think, 7 to 8 hours into the game. But relatively, that's not that much, but to me, that's a lot. That's a whole work day. But,
yeah.
I couldn't tell you much about the game. I've never really played a Dark Souls-styled game before. I got Dark Souls in Humble Bundle, but my computer couldn't run it, so I played it for like 10 minutes. And wow! It's something.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience, for sure.
I don't know if I'm having a good time, but I keep coming back.
I think that's the general synopsis with a lot of a lot of Dark Souls style games.
I see.
A lot of people play and get frustrated, but their frustration drives them
Yeah.
to continue playing.
I feel that.
Go ahead.
That's why I haven't changed my fucking character. So I load in, and I see the wretch, and I'm like, how could I not be the wretch? They're naked.
And the wretch, yeah, exactly. For those that don't know, the wretch is the one that you start without clothing and without many perks. You're kind of just like freeballing it.
Indeed. I thought, yeah.
And it's, from what I've heard, generally not a good strategy.
I took a hard game and I made it harder.
You did indeed. Not only did you, like, take a hard game, it's not even like you're experienced in Dark Souls games.
Not at all.
So this is like a couple levels harder than just normal. So it's pretty interesting. For those that don't know, Wolf's been playing it past couple days on their stream.
That's right, Rainbow Wolf with the E.
Yeah, we can put that. We'll put that in the social media in the tab section below for those of you that want to tune in for their weekly stream.
Yeah,
it's a good time. It's fun. And so Wolf's been playing. I've been watching them. And I'm a little bit familiar. I'm a little bit more familiar, I should say, with Dark Souls games than you are, Wolf. But not by any high bar.
It's a shame.
Yeah, they're not really for me. I find that I don't enjoy the frustration. Does not drive. The frustration just frustrates me. Yeah. So I've tried them. They're not for me. But however, I do like watching other people play them. And they're pretty cool.
Watch their suffering.
Now, one of my favorite parts so far was how long it took you to find the lore lady.
Right.
I don't know. I don't actually remember what her name is, but the very early cutscene you get that she teaches you a lot of different things.
It unlocked leveling up.
It sure does.
3.5 hours, just about.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty key, I would say.
I'm like running around the same area because I didn't want to leave it with just like, why the fuck can't I do anything? And it's because I never unlocked leveling up.
Yeah, that would do it. What level are you now?
I think I'm like level 5 or 6. I've been leveling up like crazy since.
Oh, okay.
I beat a boss.
You did. I was there for that. How many hours did that take?
I think pretty much my entire playtime, so 8 hours.
Yeah, I'd think it's like a more generous like 6, but definitely
I did
a while.
Walk away from it for a bit, but
yeah,
maybe like 3 to 4 hours straight. I was beating on it.
Yeah, this is the man beast in the cave for those familiar.
Yeah, the mole knife apparently.
Yeah, I think his title was like man beast, but he's definitely very mole like, and he has a humongous knife.
Yeah, he also dropped a shield, which I apparently didn't pick up before I left the cavern.
I noticed that. I'm pretty sure you just left it.
I don't understand how. I saw the prompt.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, so I don't think you picked up the shield. It was in the room,
but it didn't give it to me. Which is a goddamn shame, and I don't understand how, because it gave me the UI pop-up. I hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you missed it, because it definitely wasn't in your inventory later.
Yeah, a real shame. Like, I even wandered around a room.
Is it one of the items that, like,
room,
your class can't use?
And there weren't any.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't think it is.
2 things, honestly, that wouldn't belong to a wretch.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if there's, like, class-restricted items.
I don't think that's for me.
I'm not familiar enough. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I don't remember other Dark Souls games having classes like these before. So I think this is like something related to Elden Ring specifically.
Oh.
Right. So I don't know. We'll find out.
messy.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if I'm just dumb.
I mean, it could be one of those
I
classic Elden Ring
shield on the
glitches.
floor.
Not the most glitchy game, but definitely has some funny ones. But overall, I think it's a pretty solid little game.
Yeah, very complete. I saw like other developers complaining about how you can't know the story or the story's hard to find. I'm just like, I feel like the amount of story you know is dependent on you, because even I was barely paying attention. I get the gist of what's going on.
Yeah, I've also seen.
I know why I'm out here and why I'm out here doing it.
And I'm not entirely sure what they're based on, but it's basically like the creator Miyazaki wants his game to be accessible to everybody and to be played, but is not taking the steps to make that happen. Yeah.
And in Elden Ring? You know, I've seen that.
And it's probably more of like
before, just regarding
a comment about the entire franchise, but I think it's a little weird.
I think we should be a bit lenient in the case of Dark Souls style games in accessibility, because the genre of the game, the genre of like hard game, is kind of hard to make accessible. Like I think you should be able to have like customize the key inputs, the keyboard, stuff like that. That's pretty fair. But there's only so much you can do in the game.
Like it's meant to be a difficult game,
scooping the heart out of the game.
It's not afraid to advertise itself as such. And if you want an experience like this that isn't hard, go play Skyrim. Is my, solution, because Skyrim is a lot like this fantasy medieval world with a lot of exploring, and doesn't have nearly the difficulty factor that Dark Souls style games like Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls in general have. And so I thought the complaints, unless there's more to it than just that, which I haven't seen, but I don't, that doesn't mean there isn't, but I thought it was a little weird and weirdly founded, like you said. It's kind of criticizing the entire base of the game, which seems a little strange.
Could there be Could there be like a difficulty selector? Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's inaccessible to not have one. I'd say the difficulty changer might even just be within the classes. Like there's the knight, there's the samurai. Someone who was watching me said I should have picked the samurai, since it makes the beginning of the game easier, since you get a really strong sword that has like a bleeding effect on it. Compared to like
I definitely agree.
Clearly that's like
you can just pay more attention to the classes you pick and the bonuses they give, because the samurai, I've heard, not only from your chat but just definitely reading about the game, that the samurai definitely helps early game for the bleeding effects and the other perks that it gives you. And more... Oh, yeah, Samurai. Fuck. Capital F. He goes hard. So, if there's more complaints about accessibility than what we've established here, I'd be interested to read more about it as a, not only as like someone who enjoys games, but also makes games. I'm interested to read people's criticisms about them, especially ones like this. And it's not like this style is something unfamiliar to the creator or to the gaming universe, because Dark Souls has been around for a long ass time. Right, yeah.
Long enough that there are the Dark Souls of Dark Souls. What was that one thing? It was like, I forgot what game it was, but it was like, this game is the Dark Souls of farming
What the fuck?
simulations.
I have no idea, but I'd love to find out.
It was something really ridiculous. Or even where I think it was talking about like a real life experience.
Some people's takes are too much.
Cooking is the Dark Souls of
looking ridiculous. So what's been your favorite part about playing Elden Ring so far, if you have one? That's fair. I mean, it looked satisfying. You were very vocal about it. It was very
satisfying when I killed my first boss.
You were very, very excited. Yeah, they are cool.
Because I suppose I haven't seen... I like the monster designs. Our enemy designs. Though they pissed me the fuck off. Towards the end of my stream today, I actually decided to just venture away from the area I was in. I was getting pissed having to pick off the little knights one by one. Just to fuck up and have to do it all over again. And as I was wandering, I saw like a flower enemy. And at first, I almost walked up to it like it was a normal plant. I just happened to see it move. And it had like a weird laser attack. I went even farther. I magicked my way down a mountainside somehow. Oh. There was like a pack of wolves. I got to
I'm actually surprised.
And there was like a tentacle octopus monster
that more games, especially open world games, don't evolve and expand their monsters and enemies to something more unique. Especially like if you have creative control about the story and the universe that you're in, why would you not just go completely apeshit with the characters and monsters that you're designing? Yeah, I guess. I guess that must be it. But I think you could design stuff that is familiar or has familiar characteristics and still bring something new to the table. And I'm not saying this is a criticism of Elden Ring, because I agree with what Wolf is saying. I think their character designs are pretty good so far from what I've seen. But it's more just, I guess, a larger arcing criticism about gaming in general.
Yeah, even the tentacle monster, it doesn't look how you'd expect like a tentacle monster in a video game to look. I was fighting it, beating on it. It's this weird, withering, bulging thing. It was like pulsing. And I was smacking on it a bit. It like turned around. I'm like, oh, well, this is like an octopus.
I was going to say octopuses and squids have beaks, though.
I'm like, it's all coming together.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Well, at first I thought. See, most tentacle monsters don't do that. It's just like it's mostly just tentacles and maybe some kind of squishy center. Like if you are like familiar with like video game tropes, you could walk up to that and I could like.
Well, I was gonna say
realizing what it was.
There's like a classic, tentacle leviathan octopus monster in Lord of the Rings. And there's a lot of close-up shots on the mouth, and it's not beak-like like a squid is. It is like a monster's mouth. It's like it's a big, wide, with a lot of teeth. Yeah, and so that's kind of what you classically expect, and that's why I'm sure a lot of games have taken inspiration from that, considering how old it is. But, the beak octopus is definitely more interesting.
I think I also, triggered a cutscene of some sort. Not like a cutscene, but they started
just fuck off. They went somewhere else. I have to
wonder if I missed the chance to fight those monsters.
Yeah. So is this a game that you're going to continue
ready to
playing?
Fight all leveled up, but they're just gone.
At least for a while longer?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard they're all pieces of shit.
Interest. Maybe if the next area I wander into isn't a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, you did handicap yourself.
Well, maybe a piece of shit I'm more prepared for.
Yeah, it could, Well, yeah, is there any bonus
maybe
for
it'll pay
picking
off
your
in the
reg?
end, Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know how to read the stats in the UI.
Fair enough.
So that's actually part of
I
why
don't
I picked
think
the
there
reg
is
in the first place, without realizing what was going to go wrong.
sort of answer my own question. I don't believe there is, but, we could find out later that there is. Yeah,
I feel like
right?
you earned it. You shouldn't be able to earn it.
I don't think
By way of being a wretch.
I don't think you get shit.
Just give me a little strength boost, right?
Pretty much.
When I hit max level. It's time to go fuck myself.
Yeah. So, you'll have to follow along on social media and Wolfie's stream to find out to read more or listen to more about their adventures. Their continued adventures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that kind of wraps up Elden Ring, at least for now. We might have more stuff to say on it, but we wanted to comment on it as it's so popular right now.
Indeed.
And it's also relevant for our next topic, a little spoiler, which is moving into IGN's top 10 best open world games of all time. Now, if you're not entirely familiar with open world, it just means that once you are able to move your character, like once all the opening cutscenes are over, you can pretty much go wherever you'd like without much of a restriction. Generally, you might have like an opening territory that you got to complete, and then you have the rest of the world open to you. But that's generally what it is. You can kind of do what you want. Or you have, several main sections that you do, and then you open up further sections, so on and so forth. Basically, a lot of exploring. And they're very popular. They're very fun. Would highly recommend. But I don't know how I feel about this list. Do you want to read it off? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah, sure thing. Let's start from the bottom. Number 10, we've got Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Then, number 9, Horizon Forbidden West. Number 8, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Number 7, The Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. That's a funny way. I didn't know the game was written that way. Number 6, Fallout New Vegas. Then number 5, Elden Ring. Number 4, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 2, The Witcher
not the
3
first
Wild Hunt.
time that
1,
Legend of Zelda has taken the
Breath
number
of the
1
Wild.
slot on IGN's top list. For those that haven't, or for those that remember watching the What the Fuck Do You Know episode, you'll remember that one of the trivia questions was rated as the best game of all time by IGN itself, and Breath of the Wild took the cake on that. Yeah, and I think that Rainie got that question, and she did not get it right.
I know, I remember that.
So yeah, what are your general thoughts about this list? How you feeling about it?
Listen, you sent me this list.
What would you?
Chat, and
what don't you
I
like?
may not know a whole lot of things about all these games, but I know the list is wrong. I know that I don't like the Breath of the Wild at the top. It's IGN sucking off Nintendo for whatever reason, but that can't be right.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played a lot of these, but I've seen a lot of them, and I've heard a lot about a lot of them. First things first, Red Dead Redemption 2 has better horses than Breath of the Wild. That was my first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple episodes ago about how video games are always fucking up horse implementation. So the fact that Red Dead Redemption 2 horses are better.
Hang on.
Should already bring
the problem I have with that
Red Dead Redemption
is that
also
Breath of the Wild, Red Dead Redemption is more reliant on the horse than Breath of the Wild is. And so the mechanic itself is going to be better. Whereas Zelda is more of an open world game than Red Dead Redemption.
That's an excuse.
Okay. Okay, well, this is another thing I didn't ask in the previous segment because I knew we were going to talk about it again here. How does the horse mechanics of Elden Ring compare, or how they are just in general? You what? Oh, yeah, I mean...
I don't like the horse. Not very... I don't like the horse. I haven't found a good use for it. Maybe I'm just not used to using it, but I feel like the horse itself really confuses the lock-on mechanic. So lock-on's an enemy while on the horse.
Yeah, well, one thing I'll say about that is you don't have a good weapon for the horse-mounted combat. You have a wooden club.
I also thought that might have been the issue.
Yeah.
I have a club, and I've got...
Yeah, so I have seen very good uses of the horse in Elden Ring, but they also have way longer ranged weaponry. Yeah. Most of my thing is like...
Because otherwise,
horse combat is generally like pretty medium, even in games that have decent horse like mechanics, like Red Dead Redemption. I think it's like pretty medium still. My problem is if the horse doesn't control well, then why do you want it? Like, why is it in this game at all? And Zelda Breath of the Wild probably has one of the worst horses ever. They've never, even in Zelda Twilight Princess, you could control your horse and it was ass. And I've seen that they have not updated the quality of the horse mechanics from this game. So.
Amazing. I'd say when it comes to implementing horse mechanics, I feel like the basic thing is the control. I can let it slide if it's like force AI to come find
turning left and right is like
riding the horse.
It's like I have dead input.
Why did you include it?
You know, it doesn't do it for another like solid 3 seconds. Exactly. Like that's literally what I want. I want it to like as soon as I'm turning the stick or WASD if I'm on a keyboard. Like, I want it to move, and that's just not what it does for Breath of the Wild. Exactly. So machine horses should be able to, otherwise we're booting them.
Real horses can pull it off, so...
But, okay. So, yeah, besides horses, let's continue on your thoughts about this.
And then, outside of the horses.
Very important.
Outside of the horses, the next thing that came to mind was the story. I don't think Breath of the Wild I've never heard someone like raving about the story. And there are multiple entries on this list that have a better story. I was going
to say that one especially.
I believe
Fallout New Vegas has a fantastic story that people to this day continue to rave about. And this is a game from quite like 2011 or something like that. Yeah, pretty old game comparatively. I will agree. I played through Breath of the Wild quite a bit, multiple times. I will admit the story, as a whole, is not that great. It's actually boosted up quite a bit by the rest of the game, which, you know, it's okay. But if you were to just like take the story as is, it's not great. It's like a 6 out of 10. Yeah, so I agree with you there. Whereas Fallout New Vegas is like a 9 or 9.5.
Sounds about right.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Yeah. On this list is number 7.
Skyrim is number 7, and that one has a pretty decent story from the amount I've played. I haven't finished it, but it's decent. You know, the quests are good. The main storyline is okay.
Ooh. And then gameplay. This one was like a side one. Comparing like I was on Spider-Man, Miles Morales. The fact the whole web swinging around.
I don't know about that.
That alone makes it cooler than Breath of the Wild. It's thrilling. It's like you can do like you can go up really high. And you can drop,
I mean, you have a
shoot back
paraglider.
up.
It's not like
Can you
exactly
do
the same
that
thing,
in
but
Breath of the Wild?
if the basic principle that you want is flying around, then sure. Wow, we don't have the swoop.
I want the swoop. And then whack. That doesn't compare to the other criticism of this list. Is like the gameplay elements.
All right, well, I'll take over while you think. So I agree. I'm a little confused about how I feel about this list because I think it is not correct, just like you do. I don't think this can be the top 10 greatest games of all time, the GOATs, if you will. Especially considering 2 of these games came out this year. Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West, especially Elden Ring. I don't understand how you can put that already on this list for how recent it is. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be on it at all. I'm just saying there's way too much of a recency bias for this to make, for even any game in 2022 to be under consideration. I don't... I'm sure. Yeah, I bet. I mean, I don't know. A lot of open world games, you can go right to the end. Like right away. Like Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure about all these. But at least for Breath of the Wild, which is number 1, so it might be the most worth to talk about. But Breath of the Wild, you could beat the game in 20 minutes. People speed run this game. And that's pretty true. You can do a lot of shortcutting for open world games. So I'm sure Elden Ring, you could get through quite a bit of it pretty quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I just think that it's way too early to have a game from 2022 in. We're only in, the 3rd month. And this game came out a month ago, maybe? Horizon Forbidden West came out maybe a month and a half ago. Maybe 2 months ago. But I don't think so. I think it's 3 weeks for Elden Ring and maybe a month and a half for Horizon Forbidden West. I think it's way too early to have these 2 on here. Personally, I don't think I would put Spider-Man on this list at all. Not saying it's not a good game.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's of the quality of these ones. However, maybe it deserves to be on here. It's hard to say, but it is a great exploring game. There's a lot of secrets to uncover. I'm just not sure it quite makes the cut for me.
To be fair, I didn't even realize it counted as an open world game.
Yeah, maybe that's fair. Maybe it doesn't deserve to be on this list for open worldness, but it is. I guess they counted it because there is a lot of exploration you can do. Maybe they were pretty generous with the open world term. I am very surprised that there's no Assassin's Creed game on here. I don't know which one I would pick. Probably Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because that's the most open world of the ones and the one that did it first. So, I could see it being in the 7 to 10 range. I don't think it could go much higher, but I think you could definitely... Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you might also be able to put that on here too.
Oh. God,
I can't believe GTA 5 is on this list at all.
Related like Grand Theft Auto 5 in its comparison to Breath of the Wild.
There's no way this is like comparable to any of these.
Like it feels like an entirely different
GTA 5 I don't consider an open world game. It's like a PvP like game or PvE with quests, like yeah, this is not like at all what I consider to be an open world
most
game.
Of it you can just drive around.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. And
it's not alive.
What are you going to explore? Like I left one strip club and went to another. Like, come on. There's Yeah, it's
I
just
walked
like
into some
I can't
NPCs and they
believe
screamed.
they counted it. It seems so whack to me. Yeah, it has to be. Would you count Minecraft or Terraria as open world? Do you think they either one deserve to be on here?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I would count them as open world, but I don't think they should be on the list.
No. That's the only way they would make it onto the list if you included all like the Minecraft fan content, the mods, the big communities, the servers. That's what makes Minecraft
What's
great.
funny to me about this list, and it really annoys me because I think there are better open world games than what's on here, but I don't think I would put them on the list. And which is a problem because then I have to say that a lot of these, for me, shouldn't be on the list at all. Right? Like if I think there are, for example, if I think there's a better game than Grand Theft Auto 5, let's say that one because I didn't think it should be on the list at all, but let's say I think there's something better than GTA 5. If there is something better that is an open world game, then it automatically, if I think it's better than GTA 5, GTA 5 shouldn't be on the list. That logic makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, GTA 5 shouldn't be on the list, period.
Right.
I think even if you don't have a
replacement
for GTA 5,
that's what I'm saying. Like, so for example, like I think Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War, the Lord of the Rings, open world RPG games, are better than. I think it's better than Skyrim. I think it's better than Metal Gear Solid 5. No, not Metal Gear Solid 5, but it's better than Spider-Man. At least two of them. I think it's better than, but I don't think the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games can be on the greatest of all time list. Right, and so I'm saying if that's the case, then these two shouldn't be either.
Oh, I see.
Right? And yeah, I think we can both agree. And if you think this is a good list, you're fucking
IGN
wrong.
Made a bad list, period.
Yeah, you're a loon, but my problem is I'm also having troubles creating my own list. Do you have like what is your first one that you want removed off this?
I see. Outside of GTA, probably like.
Okay. So, I don't think you're giving Breath of the Wild a fair shake. Because you've never played it.
But to be fair...
You played an hour of it.
I've played it.
That's not saying you played it.
I've played aside from Elden Ring.
Okay, but that's like
I played maybe an hour's worth, but it just took.
I don't think that makes you qualified to talk about Breath of the Wild in an unbiased way.
Well, then I'm not qualified to talk about anything on this list. I couldn't say what doesn't or does not belong, but I can say the order's wrong at least.
Okay, so I guess that's a good way to do it. Let's say all 10 of these deserve to be on it for posterity's sake, right? These are undoubtedly the top 10 greatest open world games of all time. If nothing else, we can fix the order. How do you fix it?
All right, you're gonna have to cut out some silence.
That's fine. We'll cut back in once you figure it out.
Which one was Metal Gear Solid 5?
That would be Metal Gear Solid 5. What the fuck you mean?
Like, what happened?
I have no idea. I just know it's a great game, but I've never actually played it.
I wasn't aware. The series, maybe it changed for number 5, but I've played like 2 of them. I wouldn't consider them open world, really. Maybe it's because I feel like open world means free exploration, and some of these are really linear.
Well, like, The Witcher, Grand Theft Auto, Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Miles Morales are all definitively like open world adventure wherever you want. And that would be, I'm not positive about Metal Gear Solid. Oh, and Skyrim. You can go wherever you want Skyrim. Fallout New Vegas, I feel like was somewhat linear. But I could be wrong. And we're back after a brief cut. We're not going to ignore the cut. We had to think about it. But we've both come back with a list of, and I'll repeat what I was saying. Assuming we can't change any of the games on here, only the order, what is our list for the top 10, for these top 10 greatest open world games of all time? Wolf, why don't you start us off? Share your thoughts.
Alright, disclaimer for mine, I didn't rank Horizon Forbidden West because I literally have zero knowledge on it. I don't even know what it's about.
Perfect.
So I didn't rank it, but at the bottom of the list, I kept Spider-Man there. Then there's GTA 5. And the next, it was interchangeable between Skyrim and Breath of the Wild, because Skyrim is good, but it's buggy. And I know its thing is being buggy, and I kind of have to demote points just on principle for buggy games.
Fair enough.
So then there's Breath of the Wild. Elden Ring, I think that's somewhere in the middle. Just it's been fun so far, and pretty expansive exploratory thing. Comment on it in a bit, but I do think, even though they all are technically open world games, some are more linear than others, and I think that defeats the purpose of having an open world game. Yeah, you can go back and you can go grab some collectibles and such, but that didn't mean I explored.
Yeah, for sure.
Or there's no time limit on me doing certain quests, because I could just wander around. But
right.
Then there's, above Elden Ring, I put Metal Gear 5, and then slots for number 2 and 3 were interchangeable for me, either Red Dead Redemption 2 or Fallout New Vegas. And then at the top of the list was Witcher 3.
Fair enough. A solid list. It's pretty different than mine, but I think yours is entirely defensible. So I don't actually, while it does differ quite a bit from mine, I don't actually disagree with it entirely. So I actually like it. Once again, I know a bit about Horizon Forbidden West, but like I said, I think these don't deserve to be on the list. Well, it and Elden Ring don't deserve to be on the list at all, as they are way too new, and recency bias is a huge factor. So I put Horizon Forbidden West at 10, which is essentially where Wolfie's rating it, by not rating it. And I have Elden Ring at 9. GTA 5 I really don't think should be on this list, so it is. And I'm putting a high priority, and I think Wolf did as well, on games that let me explore the map wherever I want to, whenever I want to. That is open world for me. It does have some other connotations and a little bit deeper meaning, but overall that's kind of how I'm rating this. So I have GTA 5 next. You can do it, but I really don't think it's, even with the ability to explore, I don't think it's an open world game, really. As I'm talking about this now, I'm adjusting one of them.
You have to do a lot to earn the open world aspects in GTA 5.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of payoff for doing it. So next I have Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I did write Spider-Man. I wrote them quickly. I think it's open worldy, but I don't know. It just doesn't hit right for me. Next is Red Dead Redemption 2. A solid one. I think it deserves to be on the list. Metal Gear Solid 5, classic game. Definitely deserves to be on the list. Fallout New Vegas, I had way higher, but I think these last 3 really are the epitome of open world games. And yeah, I think I'm actually adjusting mine. Wolfie's talked me into it. So I think Skyrim is next. It is it can be incredibly buggy. However, if I'm just taking into consideration the open worldness of it, it's incredible. If you get past the bugs, just ignore those.
Yeah.
They're a part of the game. It is very open worldy, and you are paid off for exploring. So I think it's definitely deserving to be on the list, and I think it should be higher than the IGN has rated it. I had Breath of the Wild at number 1, But I think
saw.
I think Witcher 2 definitely deserves to be number 1.
3?
What?
Witcher 3.
Yes, Witcher 3. Yes, definitely Witcher 3. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Breath of the Wild, very good exploration game. So is Witcher 3, but I think Witcher 3 has a better story and better payoff for exploring the world. I think Breath of the Wild lacks a little bit in payoffs for exploring, other than progressing the game. And I don't think that's a bad benefit, but it's kind of its only benefit. Like, you get quests, you get, stuff, you can do things, but, it's like, yeah, you explore the world to progress the game, and to progress the game, you explore the world. So it's like, it's kind of like cheating a little bit. So we'll put these on our Instagram and probably Twitter. You can take a look at them. Yeah. Tell us what you think.
Improved IGN top 10s.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely improved. If there's one thing we can agree on, it's that their list is wrong. I think for starters, I would want an Assassin's Creed game on here.
Yeah.
And
one probably got bumped off just for either Elden Ring or Horizon.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I think it'd be in the 7 to 10 range. It's definitely not greatest of all time like any of the Assassin's Creed games, but I think it should be on here. But other than that, I'm not exactly sure what I want. Maybe Madagascar on the PlayStation. Maybe that one.
Is that even open world?
It is after you beat the game. That Madagascar on the PlayStation is probably the most linear game I've ever played.
Is that ever a game? I put SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom up.
Yes! That one's so good. I would absolutely vote for that. That one's great. I also could see... I'm surprised there's no Far Cry game on here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised... I'm surprised...
With the little girl with the weird name, and then she grows up. She's like an outcast in her society, and then she discovers technology.
I have no idea.
It's really popular. It's like a... I don't even know what to look up.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I just typed in video game girl.
You're...
Hold on.
Anyways, I'll continue. I'm surprised a little bit that there's... Now I'm just trying to think of your stupid game.
I'll find it.
You got me distracted.
Her name's like Ailey for something. Or Elio.
I have no idea what you mean.
What the fuck is this game? It's huge!
I have no idea. I can't wait for, like... There's definitely listeners that are, like, screaming at their... at the TV or whatever, computer, like, telling us what the game is. No clue. I did see arguments for Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh.
Or any of the, like, Batman games, but for me, I think they're kind of in the same vein as, like, a Spider-Man Miles Morales. I don't think they're exactly what I think of when I think of open world games. I don't know if they really count.
Right.
But yes, let us know what you think of our list, what you think of IGN's list. Did you figure it out?
Yes.
What?
It's Horizon Zero Dawn.
You're a fucking freak. I hate you. Get out. I hate you. We're done. You're useless. I'm now taking applications for a new co-host.
The way things play out.
I guess it's fair. You did say you didn't know anything about Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. But yeah, that's
That's hilarious.
It's ridiculous.
I bet as I'm describing it, people are screaming like, it's fucking Horizon Zero Dawn, you idiot.
Yeah, I just assumed you weren't talking about it because it's already here.
You were wrong to assume.
I definitely was. Alright, wrapping that up, we're going to be moving on and wrapping up the episode with a question of the week. Once again, not naming names.
That's right.
She doesn't get a name this week as punishment. Wolf, why don't you read the question?
This week's question is, what is the worst condiment to put on food?
Excellent question. I have two.
Lovely.
Well, actually, no. I have I have two. Okay, so I'll start off, mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is my number one. It's a terrible ingredient. It is good to mix in with other things to create sauces, or like tuna fish, or mixing in like on a club, or not a club sandwich, but like to put on with mustard and like mix it in so you don't really know it's mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And other stuff like that. It has its uses, but just as like a plain thing, like it's foul. It's so bad. I'm not ever like a mayonnaise and like turkey sandwich or something. Go fuck yourself. No way. Not on your life. Mayonnaise is terrible. It's a good addition to other things, but as an ingredient on its own, it's terrible.
Yeah. Mayonnaise was also going to be my answer, and I didn't prepare a backup. It's awful.
Well, I'll just we'll end it there then, because we agree that it's the worst condiment.
That is true.
Mayonnaise is foul. Is there anything that to add that I didn't say?
I hate the people who like mayo. Not even just the fact that they like mayo, but the way they are about it. They put it on everything, even things that doesn't belong. They'll like combine it. They'll just slap mayo on anything. They're like, no, it's good. It's like this really good secret combination. No, you just like mayo.
And it's foul.
You're just
and
slapping
they're
it
wrong.
on something and making it taste like mayo.
Yeah. Mayo is like a very overpowering flavor as well. Like like you said, when you like slap it on a sandwich or whatever, all I taste is mayo.
Yeah.
And I don't like taste any of my other ingredients, and why on earth would I want that?
Nothing but egg. Ugh.
It's just like a fatty egg condiment.
Yeah, I had what do you call it? What's that thing called? Like the raw ground tartar. I had tartar once, but I didn't want somewhere cheap, and so their base was mayo. So that's all I could taste.
Oh my god!
I'm just eating mayo with the texture of meat.
I would throw up.
I couldn't finish it. I ate like a couple bites.
I would not even try it. No way. Not on their life. Oh, I think Rainie likes mayo.
Oh, of course she does.
I think she does. I can't quite remember, but...
God.
Yeah, it's foul ingredient. No way. Let us know... Yeah, let us know what your thoughts on the worst condiment to put on food is. And if it's not mayo, you're wrong.
Exactly.
Wolf, take it away.
Here I am, Wolfie, taking it away. Thank you for watching episode 22 of You're Ridiculous. We hope you really like this episode and all the rest. Make sure you slap that subscribe button, hit that bell, or hit that plus button if you're on any other podcast service. You can follow the cast on Instagram and Twitter at ridiculous_cast. You can follow Lucas on his personal on 7 Angry Wasps with an E. And you can follow me on Rainbow Does without the W. Thank you all. We hope to see you all again next week. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.